Good morning and welcome to Today in LA. I'm Mike Amos. We're broadcasting to you this morning from our studios on South Brundage Street in Troy, Alabama, and on Facebook across the country, around the world on Facebook. And of course, we're glad to have you with us today as we start a Tuesday on our show. And of course, if you did stay up last night and you were a Kansas fan, you won. Kansas beat North Carolina by 3, 72 to 69 was the score as Kansas ekes it out at the end to win. Good morning, y'all. Today in LA. How you doing?
This is your friend Bill Rice Jr. in Hillcrest, Alabama.
Well, you're calling in there where all those rich folks live. Is that right?
I tell you, I bet there's a couple of them. It's not me though.
Yeah, Bill Rice calling in from this morning, and Mike Amos will be calling in, and I'm sure we probably will be hearing from our good friend up in the countryside. Mike Amos from Great Beach, Florida. So
let me tell you why I couldn't come in. You know, we have a weather day, so they canceled schools, Troy City schools.
Yeah. Oh yeah, makes it tough.
And my wife had gone out of town to Birmingham to a education conference, and so I'm at home with the 2 kids.
Okay, I understand. I understand it. We're glad you're with us, and I guarantee you, Jackson is probably sound asleep, isn't he?
They're both sound asleep. I hope that they can sleep until 11 o'clock, as far as I'm concerned.
Did you tell them they didn't have to go to school?
Oh, I told them last night, boy. They couldn't believe it. But, you know, this is probably about the 3rd or 4th weather day these kids have had this year, where they got to stay home because of the weather.
I tell you, it's been bad, and the weather today is going to be bad. In fact, they're expecting at least or very close to 2 inches of rain in Troy alone. So, and all the reporting stations are reporting rain this morning. So, we're going to do what we can to bring you a good show today. Of course, again, the Final Four is over. Steve not only.
Did you watch it?
Yeah, I watched it. I stayed all the way up till the final gun, and it was close. But you could tell, maybe you could sort of feel it that Kansas had a better basketball team. I think. I'm wearing Carolina colors today to pay tribute to those to Kansas.
To Kansas. Well, congratulations, Kansas.
To North Carolina. I'm wearing baby blue this morning.
I love their baby blue. You know, Kansas, though, they can shut you down on defense for long stretches. I didn't watch the game, but I kept up with the scores on the internet, and I saw that Kansas was down 40 to 25
at
halftime.
Had a huge lead.
And then, but I had noticed that earlier in the tournament they had games where they were down, and then they just come out and completely shut down it's like a different team in the second half. Yeah.
Well, that's exactly what they did. They were down by 15 at the half, and Kansas came back and tied it up later in the game, and then they sort of it was on back and forth with Kansas. Felt like Kansas would pull it out at the end, and they did by 3. But you guys that had money on the game, Rice, if you had Carolina, you won.
Well, not if you had the money line. If you just picked North Carolina to win outright.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
You get a little odd. You get a little odd. If you get a little extra money if you do that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't. You know me. I don't bet, but I do. I keep up with the lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, a lot of people.
So you're right. If you had North Carolina at 4 points, you
a lot of people that watch this show do bet.
Well, it's it was once they throw you in jail, and it was a big no-no, but it's everywhere in the world today, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it sure is. Of course, they're trying to get legalized gambling in the state of Alabama, and and the what is it where you can just walk up and take a team, bet on a team, and watch
Sports wagering.
Sports book. You could. That's a lot more legalized gambling, you know.
Yeah, that's the real deal, where you can go and make a bet on a horse or a team. That's what that was. What my old friend Milton McGregor always wanted to happen to Victoryland. I remember he even built a little sports book room at Victoryland.
You mean Milton McKellar did that?
Not Milton McKellar, but Milton McGregor.
McGregor, yeah.
You remember Mr. McGregor?
Oh, I remember him very well. Very, very nice guy.
He was super nice. I guess he's controversial in some circles, but he was a big advertiser of the Montgomery Independent, where I worked for 7 years. He had a full-page ad in every edition. And so, and he was friends with Bob Martin, the publisher, and they would talk all the time. And I got to know him through the Independent and Bob Martin, and he couldn't have been a nicer gentleman to me.
Yeah, no question about it. In fact, he was on Troy University's board of trustees at one time, but whenever times didn't look as good for him, he backed away from most of his things that he were interested in. But a very good guy. They call him, what was his nickname? Quincy. That was his nickname.
Quincy, yeah. I still think he got done wrong. Somebody wanted to shut him down, and they shut him down.
Well, for some reason he and the governor didn't see eye to eye on several issues, but of course, back to the game last night. My son-in-law is a huge North Carolina fan. In fact, he and his daddy both. His daddy graduated at North Carolina, but my son-in-law graduated at Auburn. But his favorite team is North Carolina. But they couldn't pull it through, and one of their top players got hurt right at the end of the game, and that didn't give them that alleviated North Carolina having a big man inside, and if you don't have that big man inside, they just drive to the bucket,
Michael said something yesterday that I didn't know. He said North Carolina hardly ever substitutes. They play their starting five the whole game.
That's
I looked at the box score. North Carolina played 6 players in the entire game, so they had one substitute the entire game.
Yeah. Of course, we're waiting on our Masters report. Will Matthews will be calling in, giving us that. I know he's exciting. He'll be heading over there, I think, for Friday. Is that right?
Yeah, I think they're going to have. I think all this rain and bad weather is supposed to happen before Thursday, so maybe it'll clear out and they'll be able to play the tournament. But I bet some practice rounds are going to be canceled.
Well, you hope that they'll get in, that 3-ball that they have every year. Is it still on schedule?
Yeah, the par 3 tournament.
Yeah, par 3.
I can't remember. I think they do that the day before they start.
That's right.
So that would be Wednesday. That is one of the about a dozen unique traditions the Masters has in that par 3 tournament. And then all the players let their children play and caddy for them during that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And of course, just being able to play that golf course. They say after the tournament, that the caddies, they allow the caddies to play around at the Masters. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That's just tradition. That's tradition. All right, we got a phone coming in right here. All right, let's see here what we got to do here. All right. Well, I got one of them. Let's see if I get both of them. I've been having better luck on. All right, here we go.
The wireless customer.
All right, let's see. Put you on hold.
Hi.
Good morning. How you doing? I've got to get Rice back in here. Let's see.
Hello.
All right, I got you. I hear you. Are you on here now? Well,
you got it. You got me. You just put me on.
okay. All right, here we go. I think.
Yeah.
How's everything going this morning? I tell you. There we go. I got it. All right, got both of you. How you doing this morning?
Well, you got me.
I got you both.
Yeah, you got a horrible superintendent down here that closed schools, and it's not even going to rain until 2 o'clock. So we got
got kids at home then.
We got a 5% chance of severe weather, and they closed schools today.
Well, I tell you what.
I've ever heard in my life.
Well, that's for Great Beach, but Mike, they're expecting 2 inches of rain here in Troy.
Yeah, I can understand in Alabama. I mean, where there's like moderate or severe risk, but not a light risk at 5%.
Yeah.
You don't close schools.
Evidently, you got them by yourself, or you wouldn't be complaining so much.
No, I mean, of course I've got them all by myself, but the thing is, that makes no sense, is there is a North Walton, which starts in Floral, Alabama. That's North Walton. We're South Walton. We have nothing to do with severe weather today, but they're closing us because we're all in Walton County.
Yeah, well,
there's got to be a breakaway of North Walton County and South Walton County. There's got to be a city council for each, and it's got to be split. It's something that should have happened years ago. I don't know why.
Rice has got the same situation in that, but his kids are still asleep. Yours must be awake.
Well, yeah, I mean, my wife's still here, but I mean, I'm just saying it's just insane that Walton County schools are not divided between North and Walton and South Walton.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I see what you're saying, but these superintendents they got to make a call.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just completely miss the weather call.
And I've seen where they have, and it's been tragic.
Last time this happened, it didn't even rain down here. It was crazy.
Yeah. Well.
Well, it does put a burden on the parents who have to stay home from work to take care of their kids.
That's right.
So they need to think about that too.
I mean, if this was later in the week when Masters Week is going on Thursday or Friday, I'd be happy about this.
Now we know the rest of the story, don't we?
Hey, we had big news in the Rice household yesterday afternoon.
All right, tell us about it.
Jack Rice, age 6 years old, soloed on his bicycle without his training wheels.
He soloed on it. All right.
On the road, not Mr. Quattlebaum's driveway. So we're all excited about that.
Okay, that's great. Is he riding it around now?
Yeah, he can ride it. He's still learning how to get going. You know, you got to get those pedals going and push off a little bit. So he needs a little help to get started. But
does he still have the practice wheels?
No, we took those off.
All right,
why
that's
I said
great.
he-
Solo.
Solo.
Well, Mike, won't you
How'd
get out
you,
there?
how'd you start that? Did you start it on grass, or you like if you fell, it wouldn't hurt so bad?
Mr. Quattlebaum, who lives next door to me, has a real good concrete, relatively flat driveway, and he doesn't mind if the kids play over there. And I take him over there and get him started, and I get him started on the side of the driveway where if he starts to crash, he can fall into the grass. So,
Well, that's good.
I'll tell you what, if you'd have told me last night watching that basketball game, I didn't get to watch all of it. I was watching something with my wife, but North Carolina gets up 15 at the half, and Kansas comes all the way back and wins it. Of course, Kansas broke a lot of people's heart last night. They're up by 3.
Oh, yeah.
All they got to do is get the inbounds pass in.
And get
all
fouled.
All they got to do is get it in, and they get fouled. They get the inbounds pass in. The guy steps out of bounds twice. North Carolina gets the ball back with 4.2 seconds left.
You're right.
I mean, all North Carolina had to do is, throw it. It was, on their side of the court. All they had to do was get in the bounds, make a 3, which I was shocked that Kansas didn't foul them and put them at the line and not give up the 3. But Kansas wins by 3 last night. But North Carolina won where it counts. They won the money. But,
hey, did North Carolina get a shot though? A 3-point shot at the end?
No.
Yeah, the guy wouldn't pass the ball. Their great player Love had 2 guys on him and shot an air ball. But had plenty of chances to pass the ball.
Yeah.
But great game last night. North Carolina. They played 6 guys total.
Yeah.
And they almost found a way to beat Kansas after that unbelievable win against Duke. I was real impressed with their program.
And then, of course, up by 15. What do you tell your players? Just hold on, or what? You're up by 15, and the other team is just desperate, and they found a way to get back.
They found a way to get back quick. They were within 3 with about 11, 12 minutes left, and then they took the lead with about 8 minutes left.
Yeah.
So they came back quick.
Okay, we've got some other things going on. Basketball is over for another year, and of course, Kansas was a good winner, and of course, North Carolina, it was a great comeback. But they even after
North Carolina's legs just ran out on them.
That's right.
Didn't have anything left.
That's exactly right, and their big men also got hurt right at the last, and Kansas was able to get a couple of free throws late and get up and to win the game.
How many national championships has Kansas won now? Did they say?
I don't know.
I think they won 3 national championships.
I go back.
They won one with Danny Manning.
Yeah, Danny Manning's the one I remember. Yeah.
Was that the last one, or did they win? I think they won one after that.
Now they've won 4 national championships. Bill Self's 2nd national championship, and I want to say they won one when Wilt Chamberlain was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're considered one of the blue bloods of basketball, but they really haven't won a lot of national championships. But I guess they've been in a lot of Final Fours.
Well, Kansas is not famous for many things, but they're famous for having good basketball teams.
Yeah, good. So that they've got one of the best basketball teams and arguably the worst football team for decades.
Yeah, and then of course they have produced what many people think is the best college football player of all time. Do y'all know who we're talking about? Gale Sayers, the great Gale Sayers, played at Kansas, and even though his team wasn't very good, he was real good.
Dude, I would love to see highlights of him in college. I bet he was some in college.
That's right.
Wow, Kansas basketball is incredible. Now they've won the national championship 52, 1988, 2008, 2022. That's 4 national championships, but they've been the runner-up in 1940, 1953, 1957, 1991, 2003, and 2012. They have been to the Final Four. 12.
Pretty good.
16 times they've been to the Final Four.
Oh man, that's better than anybody, isn't it? Not UCLA probably has been more.
It's not better in North Carolina, I don't think.
And UCLA.
So that shows you how hard it is to win it. They've been to the Final Four 16 times, but they've only won 4.
For the public.
I think about Alabama and all those national championship games Alabama was in, and for like 6 times in a row, I think when Alabama got to the national championship game, they won it, which was really statistically almost impossible to achieve. You know, that you actually win it. Now they've lost a couple.
Well, a lot of people think that North Carolina, UCLA won 8 straight. Didn't they? Isn't that right? They won 8 straight.
North Carolina's been to the Final Four 21 times.
Yeah, North Carolina's been to the Final Four 21 times. Now UCLA, I know under the all-time great coach, I think they won 8 straight championships. But you know how they did it, don't you? They had an Alcindor, and then they had guess who the other guy was?
Bill Walton.
Bill Walton. They played and they played 4 years in a row, giving them 8 straight.
When I think of UCLA basketball, those are the only 2 players I can really think of. I can't think of like any great guards or forwards.
Well, they had a guy named Shackelford. Do you remember him? He was a good player. And
they must have had good players, but I mean, that winning, I think it's 7 or 8 in a row is a dynasty. I guess didn't the Boston Celtics win a bunch in a row at one time?
Yeah.
I mean, there's not many teams in sports history that can compete.
But I'm thinking, please check to see. I'm thinking UCLA won it 8 straight.
They won 9 in a row. 64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and 73.
That's a dynasty that will never be broke, I think.
Well, you skipped a year then. They missed one. I think you went from 65 to 67. So does that mean that they didn't win 9 in a row?
Yeah, that is.
Actually, they did win 66.
Yeah. But of course.
So they won. 64, 65, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, and 73.
As far as a college basketball player, Walton wasn't as good in the pros, but he was a great college player. In one championship that he played in, y'all hear this, he hit 24 out of 25 shots.
I remember. Yeah, I was a kid.
Walton won the world championship though with the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, did he?
Walton had terrible injury luck after his first couple of years in the NBA. But if he hadn't been injured, he would have been one of the all-time great big men.
But he didn't. He put back rebounds to score, and he would be drive to the basket and he'd score. But he wasn't a guy like Alcindor had a patent hook shot. He had a hook shot that was unblockable,
Yep.
And
why don't people? Why? The other day we talked about why don't more people shoot free throws granny style like Rick Barry did?
Yeah,
because
that's right.
Apparently works. Why don't more basketball players do the hook shot like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar did?
Yeah. Mike, look this up, Mike. All right, who shot the granny type shot? Well, Rick Barry. Did Rick Barry win a world championship with Portland? With Portland, check that out.
I thought he won one with the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, Golden State. Yeah, look at it. See
anyway, but what y'all? I got to answer why didn't anybody use the hook shot anymore?
I don't know. You don't see it much.
I just don't think it's taught.
Yeah.
You're right. It was completely unblockable, unstoppable.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He probably it would be interesting to see if all the hooks. There's probably some sports nerd out there that could count how many hook shots he attempted in his career and what his field goal percentage on those shots was. Don't you bet it's probably about 60% on those?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he was the NBA champion with Golden State Warriors in 1975.
And he won a championship.
Yeah, he was the MVP.
And he was a great player. Rick Barry was, and he could shoot it from way out, and then he could shoot it from way in.
He had
in Miami.
I think he had 3 sons that played basketball, 2 of them in the NBA.
That's right.
And I think only one of those sons shot the free throws granny style like Dad did.
Yeah.
And he shot a high percentage too.
There's a guy, that was a great high school free throw shooter. His name was, here in Alabama, he won a contest. And I'm trying to
I'd say he was a great free throw shooter with Chris Jackson that played at LSU. He later became a Muslim and changed his name. But I did some research on him because he had Tourette syndrome like Griff McCrary.
Yeah.
And but in reading a story on Chris Jackson in high school, I think I found out that when he was in high school one time, he hit something in a practice. He hit something like 196 consecutive free throws.
That is unreal. That is unreal. It's something. Well, let's see if we can get off of free throw shooting and find out some more things going on.
Hey, what's the most free throws you've ever hit in a row? I can tell you what I can tell you what I did one time.
Probably. I probably maybe hit 5 in a row at one time.
I can remember one time as just messing around at the Charles Simpson High School gym. They would let us play there. I wasn't on the basketball team, but I remember one day I couldn't believe it. I hit 14 in a row.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, Rice, we found something you're good at.
Well, I mean that was just on that day. I've told you my great basketball story about where I got picked to do the half court shooting contest at a Troy basketball game.
Yeah.
Air
ball.
They gave me 30 seconds, and I had to hit a layup, a free throw, a three-pointer, and then a half-court shot. I had to hit 4 dang shots if I was going to get the $500. And, I hadn't played hardly any baskissball for months. I was the sports editor of the Troy Messenger, and I hit my layup, of course, and then, I missed my first free throw. It bounced right back to me, and then I hit my second free throw, hit my three-point shot. Couldn't believe that. This is in front of 2,000 people, mind you. And I had about 15 seconds to. Not only did I get off 1 half-court shot, I had time to get off 2 half-court shots.
But you liked it, did it? You would have been an all-time great if you could pull that off.
It's sad.
Rick Barry had 5 sons, all had played professional basketball. Drew, Scooter, Brent, Canyon, and John.
Isn't that unreal?
That is unreal.
And
that is a record. I mean, who else has had 5 kids that played professional basketball?
That is.
I remember Drew played at Georgia Tech. Brent and John Barry played in the NBA for several years. They were really good players, actually.
I bet a couple of those guys played like in Europe or somewhere. I think.
Yeah. Some of them played in the CBA. Some of them played in Europe.
Yeah. Well, he was a great one.
That's a basketball family right there.
Yeah. Of course, if you've just joined us, Kansas defeated North Carolina last night, 72-69, to win the national championship of college basketball. So congratulations. A lot going on. This show is brought to you by Pike Tree Service, and the kind of weather we've been getting, Tony and his crew had been out all over town getting up trees, fallen trees, and so forth. The weather today looks to be very,
well,
very
I'm
rough.
sitting on my back deck. You may give you a weather report.
Yeah, give me a weather report.
It's starting to rain. It's sprinkling.
Yep.
Man, the birds are chirping. You know, they're chirping real loud. When you hear that, you know, those birds know something's up.
Yeah.
And it is a weird kind of ominous color to the sky. There's a little breeze picking up. The birds are flying around like they know something's coming. So I think that there's bad weather on the way.
You know, I pulled in my driveway just the other day, and there was the prettiest red bird, just as red as it can be, and and then the trees in the background. That was a picture that I would have loved to have taken, and I didn't do it.
Well, I bet you know the name of that red bird.
Yeah, well, a cardinal. That's what everybody calls it, a cardinal. They don't call it red bird. There's a red bird, a red-winged blackbird. There's a mockingbird. There's a bluebird. There's a cedar waxwing. There is a
Hey, I'll tell you, speaking of birds,
English sparrow. I learned all of this in the 4th grade.
Let me interrupt you. I want to tell another Disney story. I had one of the surprise, neat live performances I went to was a little show, about a 25-minute show that is, I think it's called the Tiki Talk Birds. And I went in there just to get out of the heat because it was air conditioned. But it was a bunch of artificial birds up on the roof with these cool light shows and cool special effects telling stories. The birds could talk and would sing. And that was one of the neatest, funnest little attractions I saw at Disney World. So if anybody goes to Disney World, be sure to take in the little Tiki Talk show.
All right, now you've already given us a rundown on what you did on the first day. How about the second day?
Well, the first day we went to Disney City, which is, I guess, technically part of Disney, but it's not an amusement park. Second day we went to Magic Kingdom, which is Disney World, and it was crowded, man. I mean, it was spring break, but a lot of fun. And the high points from the Magic Kingdom was the fireworks at the end of the night at 9 o'clock that they have.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the fireworks that impressed you. Troy's fireworks that they have are just as good.
Yeah.
It was the light show they do and the music. They light up the the castle and all of Main Street, and the lights and the images on the castle are constantly changing. You know, you got videos that are depicted in different colors, and it was awesome.
Yeah. But,
so that was, we got there at
Good.
and it's the 50th year anniversary, so I think they really ramped it up even more.
So that was your second day, is that right?
Yeah, so we were there from gates open, and they let the people staying at resorts go 30 minutes earlier, so we were there from probably 7:30 in the morning. The fireworks and light show was probably over at about 9:40. Then we got on our bus and got back. We were back about 10, so that was about a 15-hour day.
Did the kids hit the sacker when they got back to the room?
They sure did. But
all right, now
they packed them in there for that light show. It was like I'd like to know how many people were there. I mean, the workers do a real good job of getting everybody filling in all the gaps, and there were, I would say, there were easily 60, 70,000, 80,000 people watching that fireworks show.
Okay, now you've gone 3 days.
Big news, and in high school football, I'm shocked to hear this. Patrick Browning is leaving Pike Road, where he won a state championship, and become the head coach at Greenville High School.
You know, I heard that yesterday.
He mentioned that that Greenville is a school that has unbelievable potential, and he loves building programs. But man, I figured you would have stayed at Pike Road instead of going to Greenville in a heartbeat.
There was some money. I'm sure there's some money.
There had to be a lot of money involved, but I mean, I am shocked that a guy would leave Pike Road for Greenville, a 5A school, going to a 5A school. Yeah.
Well, it surprised me a little bit too, but you know, like you said, Greenville has had some good teams, and you know, their town. Let me tell you something. You talking about the Chamber of Commerce or the city fathers? Hey, when you can land a championship football team, you know, every other year, or just you know, that you can just say you got a great program. Well, hey, that's doing a lot for the Chamber of Commerce. You know, I guarantee you, people look at it that way.
Apparently, Greenville's building a new football stadium too.
They need one. Tiger Stadium is obsolete, man. It's a terrible stadium. You're right.
Yeah.
You know, they went for a long time in basketball by not building a new gym in basketball. When I played at Charles Simpson High School, and you were playing at Greenville, and I'm not making fun of Greenville. This is a fact. You drove down the middle, and you shot the basketball, and you were outside the gym. I mean,
hey, my cell phone battery's getting ready to die, so I'm gonna hang up and go charge it. But I'll call back in about 15 minutes.
All right, thank you for calling there.
Maybe. All right, thanks, Mike.
But you know, but now that was a long time ago. But it was back when I played. You shoot the basketball on one end and you went out the front door. But some of my all-time favorite people are from Greenville. Of course, one family was the Rainey's. Tuffy and Lionel Ed Rainey were both outstanding. Jack Rainey was their brother, and he was an outstanding player, and he lived here in Troy. But a great family.
Hey, what? This kid's a hell of a coach. He's like 66 and 7.
That's at Pike Road?
Pike Road. I don't know if he's been anywhere else before then, but man, I am shocked they got a coach like this. Boy, that's a credit to the city of Greenville and the school board.
How about Ponder? You reckon they'll go after him next?
No, I think Ponder's next move would be 7A somewhere. You can probably see Ponder trying to get, you know, a 7A job, or
I wonder how his team's doing.
Get into junior college or something like that.
Yeah, is his team in the running right now?
I don't know. I'd have to look and see. It's still real early in the season.
I noticed that Brantley is the #1 team in baseball right now.
Hey, well, that's not good news for Charles Henderson, though, when a guy leaves Pike Road to be at Greenville. That's one of Charles Henderson's big rivals.
Yeah, you're right. You're certainly right. Okay. Any other coaching changes?
All I'm seeing right now, looks like, you know, of course you got spring, I guess, football coming up in some of these programs. You know, a lot of them are playing baseball. I guess spring doesn't even happen until, what, May now?
That's right. They wait to about the last couple of weeks of school to take part in your spring football. And nowadays, you know, with coaches being allowed to come in, start coaching the players first week of June, or actually the second week of June, then you know, it's sort of you don't really need a spring game, you know, because you've got all that time to prepare your team all summer long.
Of course, Tiger Woods played in a practice round yesterday with Justin Thomas and Freddie Couples. pretty couples have come out and said Tiger looked phenomenal in the practice round. So,
oh boy, you think
all indications are that Tiger will play in the Masters, and television is going to jump all over this. It's going to be unbelievable coverage around the clock on Tiger playing. Of course, a lot of people thought Tiger would never play in a competitive golf round again after his horrible accident.
Yep, he's an amazing athlete, no question about it. And you know,
Arch Manning sweepstakes are still going on. Arch Manning visited Tuscaloosa this past weekend. They say that Alabama is the leader in the clubhouse.
Whoa!
For Arch Manning, second right now is Texas. So be interested to see what happens there. I would love to see Arch Manning play at Alabama, but man, that is a lot of pressure with that Manning name. And you throw in playing at the University of Alabama, that's going to be a lot on that kid.
You know, I've always thought that he belongs at Ole Miss. You know, his granddaddy was a great player at Ole Miss, and
most of his family lives in Louisiana, though. Yeah. I would like to see maybe a Manning play for LSU.
Yeah. Well, you know, it would be wherever he lands, it's going to.
Brian Kelly's a really good coach.
Yeah. Wherever he lands, they're going to sell tickets. There's no question about it. Don't you think?
Yeah, you think so. I mean, Alabama, I'd love to see Manning there, but, you know, they got the Ty Simpson kid out of Martin, Tennessee. He was a five-star.
Yeah. So
it's not like they don't already have a five-star quarterback.
Yeah. Do you feel like he'll play a lot this year, Mike? Is he a red shirt, or what is he?
Well, they say Josh Monroe, the kid out of Texas, is really looking good this year. You know, he's just a redshirt freshman.
When is spring?
Real athletic quarterback. Yeah. Bryce Young, you know, I'm sure they're going to want to take him out of a lot of games this year if they get a lead. So they need a good backup for sure.
Well,
I don't think they had any confidence in Paul Tyson Jr. last year.
Yeah. Where's Paul Tyson Jr. now?
Bear Bryant's great grandson. If Bryce Young would have got hurt, I don't think Alabama would have liked their chances. He went to Arizona State.
And, you know, that's a big school, you know. It tickled me to see him do well, though. Wouldn't you like to?
Well, it looks like Arizona State's going to go on probation. Herm Edwards and a lot of his staff have already been mentioned in a letter from the NCAA. It's just a matter of time for that whole program to probably be put on probation. But he's out there for now. You know, with that portal, I guess you could always transfer out again if you wanted to.
Have you heard much from the portal? You usually do this time. I reckon they wait till the end of spring, or what?
Yeah. I think we'll see a lot more at the end of the spring as far as some moving going on.
You know, I wish there was a deadline on that. You know, is there a deadline on the portal?
I think it's not until August.
Yeah, but you know, you hate to see somebody wait that long. I mean, you had your spring drills, your summer drills, and you're getting your team ready, and then somebody comes up and steals your player away in the portal.
Yeah, I want to say the last time you can move is like somewhere around early August.
Okay, good.
For the season.
We're going to take a short break.
Most kids already know where they're going to go, usually by the end of the spring.
We're going to take a short break. We'll be back in just a moment.
The all-new Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center brings all of the latest and advanced 3D mammography and breast ultrasound services to the Troy area in our all-new outpatient facility. Dr. Lauren Thorington, along with our team of certified breast specialists, read your mammograms, which are performed by our registered radiologic technologists, bringing the best in women's health care to the Troy area. Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center.
I wish you could taste how much better food tastes when cooked on a Green Mountain grill, but I can let you in on the reason that's true. Our pellets contain water, so they create steam while you cook, keeping your food moist. Does a gas or charcoal grill do that? I think not.
Come and see us at Southern Grill and Patio just off the square in Troy. It's Ford Truck Month. America, you know what to do. Now's the time to get after the best deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, 45 years straight. Also, great offers on Ford Ranger and the new Ford Maverick. Ford Truck Month is here, so let's get after it. Get 0 for 60 plus up to $1,000 bonus cash plus a no-charge 3-year Ford Protect Premium Maintenance Plan on F-150.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Yeah, that is. That is.
Tell you what, man, if you're in the bicycle and golf cart business down here, you make a killing.
We're back to our show brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram Trucks in Troy, Alabama. And, of course, remember, if Premier, you've heard it so many, they got a deal that won't wait. So come on in today and take advantage of some great values. Of course, remember, nobody beats a Premier deal, nobody. And we appreciate them very much. I want to mention Troy City Schools have been canceled because of bad weather, and so that's you know what? That's good news for the kids because they'll say, "Oh, we don't have to get up. We don't. We'll continue to sleep it out." So I know a lot of kids are awfully excited about not having to go to school today. Now, Pike Liberal Arts, I'm not sure, but I would assume that if the schools in town are staying at home, that Pike Liberal Arts will be too. So give us a call and let us know something for sure. Of course, I want to mention our good friends at First Cahaba Bank, and of course our good friends. And they've got a great bank located right next to down North 39th Street. Remember Sandbuck Insurance, Denny Sanford, our good friend, and he's been doing business here in Troy, Alabama, and he also has offices in Andalusia and Enterprise, and we appreciate him for being a strong member of our team. And Mike, what else is going on, buddy? You don't have to go to school. A lot of people would be real excited. You don't sound like you're very excited.
Well, I don't want to stay at home with my kids all day when they could be at school. It's a lot easier. A lot easier when it comes to life in general. I mean, you just don't have any control. I mean, it's just like in Birmingham when you get a dusting of snow, schools are closed because you don't want people on the road. Same thing down here. Actually, on the coast, living right near the beach, your chances of tornadoes down here are not very good. You know, you got a lot better chance inland as far as tornadoes goes. You might occasionally get some water spouts coming out of the Gulf of Mexico.
Well, whatever the weather is, my good buddy at A1 Services is ready. Whether if it's your air conditioner or your heater, he can take care of it for you.
Of course, Masters will start on Thursday, so I'm looking forward to that.
Why don't you go ahead and give us your top 10?
I don't
and
really
tell us why.
Masters, it's just too hard to pick. I mean, I think right now, listening to PGA Tour Radio yesterday, everybody's pick is Justin Thomas. Justin Thomas has played competitive in every tournament he's played in this year, but you know he's only won one major. You got to throw Justin Thomas, Steve Dustin Johnson, John Rahm, of course, Victor Hovland, the great young player out of Europe, Roy McIlroy.
That's 5.
Career Grand Slam.
You know, Bubba Watson plays the Masters very well too. I'd say Bubba's gonna be in the top 10.
Scotty Scheffler's won 3 times this year. He's a really great young player. You got to look at all these names like Louis Oosthuizen.
Oh yeah, he always plays it well. Yeah.
Lee Westwood plays great in the majors. It's just one of those type things where every once in a while a guy comes out of nowhere. Hideki Matsuyama, you know, the guy that won it last year, is the guy you got to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, a lot of people thinks he's the best in the world.
But Rahm is the best in the world.
Yeah.
By far, in my opinion. But he hadn't really put it together this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Looks like they're going to have horrible weather today, just like everybody else. So the practice rounds probably won't happen today. And
it seems like
turn around and play the par 3 tomorrow.
It seems like you know, every year there's a real surprise. Give me a surprise golfer in the top 10 or top 20.
This guy out of Chile that's really good named Joaquin Niemann. I would be surprised that he does well there. Just like a lot of international players play well at the Masters. And then my pick to definitely be in contention is Cam Smith, the kid out of Australia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really good. Keep him in mind. Also, a name you don't hear as much, but he plays pretty good in major championships, is Webb Simpson. That's a name to always remember as well.
But well, right now, who's the hottest golfer out there?
The name you don't really hear of anymore is Koepka. You know, Brooks Koepka is, you know, phenomenal in majors, but, you know, ever since he got injured, and kind of ever since he lost that PGA Championship to Mickelson, you know, him and Mickelson were in that final group last year, and Mickelson ended up beating him.
You know what?
He hadn't been the same since.
Yeah. Now I don't know why this didn't come to my mind. Mickelson plays the Masters year in and year out better than anybody. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
maybe other than Tiger.
Mickelson's been suspended by the PGA Tour.
He will. So he will not be able to play at the Masters.
Yeah, Mickelson's going to miss his first Masters in like 28 years.
Well, what did he do wrong, Mike? Tell us what he did wrong.
Well, he tried to join another golf league and leave the PGA Tour for the Saudi Golf League, and made a bunch of comments disparaging PGA Tour commissioner and talking about all kinds of stuff, and it really just came down to money and how much more money he could make and stuff like that. I mean, said a lot of stuff bad about the Saudi Arabian government. I mean, he said a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
He was doing it for an article that he thought was off the record with a writer, a golf writer, and the golf writer basically published everything he said and basically tried to end Mickelson's career. The way it
he sure did. He sure did.
But I mean, a lot of people think when Mickelson said it's the truth, and feels like, you know, Mickelson should have got a slap on the wrist. But obviously, when you bash the PGA Tour commissioner Jay Monahan, you know, he hurt a lot of feelings, and the PGA never announces suspensions publicly, but everybody assumes that's got to be the case, because there's no way a guy that's won the Masters 3 times and Phil Mickelson wouldn't be playing in the Masters this weekend.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's so many great golfers out there, and you know, this is really hard to pick. But you say that it looks like Tiger's going to play, and boy, that's going to really create some.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be all the news all week will be Tiger, especially if he makes the cut.
Yeah. And I wonder will this little boy play in the par 3?
Probably so, I would imagine.
Yeah. Don't they let the kids play?
Always fun to watch. Yeah, they let them play.
Yeah.
Good shots for sure.
I wonder will they let Tucker Gilchrist play?
I don't know.
Tucker Gilchrist, where are you this morning when we need to talk to you? You don't have to go to school this morning, probably. And Bradley, I'm not sure.
You don't play on tour?
But I would like for Tucker Gilchrist to call in and tell us how things are going, what he's done in baseball and golf, and his plans to be at Troy this fall. Call in, Tucker Gilchrist.
Troy softball game was canceled against Georgia Tech today. Troy was going to drive to Atlanta and play, so that game's been canceled.
Was it softball? Yeah, it was in softball. Okay.
Not sure if there'll be any makeup date. Troy baseball was heading to Louisiana, I think, for a game tomorrow.
To play Southeastern Louisiana. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they play a road series against La Monroe. Not the worst place to be in Monroe, Louisiana. There's a few things to do. You can go over to Shreveport, too. If you're a fan, it wouldn't be a bad trip.
Right now, it's thundering and lightning in Troy, and I don't know if it's gotten all the way down to the Dothan area or not. But Steve Camp, how's the weather look? How'd that song go? It says bad weather. Is it,
Weather coming, about 1 o'clock.
about 1 o'clock is where it's supposed to hit Troy and Pike County? 1 o'clock, so make sure that you...
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Troy's getting the rain early. It's going to be a 100% chance of rain right now at 8 o'clock.
And it's lightning.
70% at 9 a.m., and then after that, it's going to be a washout in Troy the rest of the day, looks like.
Yes, it does. And, of course, thundering and lightning. And, of course, the show's brought to you by First Citizen Bank of Luverne. And you need to latch up over there. Of course, one of the great local banks in Alabama.
One thing about
William Petrie
Troy, Alabama in April, you never know what weather is going to be like. And how about this? When you wake up on Saturday morning, the low is going to be 40 degrees.
Oh,
and then on Sunday morning, when you wake up, it's going to be 37 degrees.
Are you serious? In Troy, Alabama, that kind of weather.
So starting Wednesday night, it'll be 49. Thursday will be 45. Saturday will be 40, and Sunday will be 37 degrethis.
So if you want to walk in the woods, it'll be a good time to do it because you don't worry about those crawlers with this kind of weather.
The high on Friday and Saturday in Troy are 67 and 65.
Yeah. Does Troy have a baseball game this weekend?
But as the weather goes in Troy, Alabama, it's going to be 37 on Sunday morning.
37 Sunday morning.
Come Wednesday afternoon, it'll be 88 degrees.
This Wednesday?
Yeah, this coming Wednesday. Not tomorrow, but next week.
Oh, okay. Bad weather heading this way right now? Should they take precaution?
Y'all are in a building that
yeah, I know. What now? We're getting some report of bad weather coming in here. If you're watching the show, you need to head for shelter.
Tornado watch and tornado warning. Y'all under a watch?
We're under a severe thunderstorm warning in Troy, Alabama, and but it's coming. All this bad weather is coming. So seek either if you got a basement. Go to your basement and ride this thing out. Be
like today,
responsible.
I'm sure everybody will be watching WFFA, their weather. I know in Birmingham, I used to always watch James Spann. He'd be on all day.
Troy Bank
we
and
got a guy
Trust.
down here that does a good job named Chris Smith.
Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need, and we appreciate them, as do we appreciate Southeast Alabama Gas District, located in Andalusia, Alabama. And, of course, we appreciate them, as we do Circle Insurance in Ozark. My buddy Sam Judah, for all your insurance needs. The Real Estate Connection, located right here in Troy, Alabama. And, of course, call Carol Amos for all your real estate needs. And Health Actions, physical therapy, and boy, they've really done a great job with me. I appreciate the hard work with that physical therapist let's just say this: they do as good a job as you're gonna find anywhere. Lawrence Hardware is one of the very unique hardware stores in Alabama. And I tell you, you walk in there, you'll see things that you haven't seen in years, or you'll see things that you've never seen at Lawrence Hardware.
Thunderstorm is in Goshen, quarter-size hail heading this way.
All right, right now, at 40 miles an hour.
Do y'all need to go seek cover?
Not Yeah.
40 miles an hour winds, and they're they're in Goshen right now. The bad weather's in Goshen, so you need to find a place for shelter. Get in your car. I would say try to get out. Would you tell them to get out of the car or what? We want to make sure that they go to safer ground. Usually a basement in your house.
Well, everybody doesn't have a basement. Some people have storm
All right,
shelters.
Mike. Well, where do you think they need to go? Should they leave their vehicles?
Well, you're supposed to go to your safe place, you know. You're supposed to get a safe place in the house. I mean, usually it's like a bathroom or a closet or something like that.
Yeah, or any room in the middle of the house.
Yeah, some people have storm shelters and stuff like that, but definitely don't be on the second floor. That's not good.
But heavy winds are coming to Troy right now, and of course they're leaving Goshen area, and so be very conscious of the bad weather and head for a safer place.
I wish I was in Panama City Beach this afternoon with the girls, because with the storm surge and then they've been dredging the beaches, all the shells will pop up everywhere this afternoon.
Green Hills Funeral Home, my good friends Benny and Chrissy, and boy, they do a great job, and they're very, very conscious of not only you but your family, and any times you just can't beat our good friends at located right here in Troy. For Cinco Drugs,
got an article out by AL.com of the greatest 100 football players ever to play in the state of Alabama.
Let us know something.
Number one is who they pick every single year. They do this every year. It changes throughout the year. But number one is, who do you think number one is?
Why now?
Greatest player ever to play in the state of Alabama.
In the state of Alabama, Joe Namath.
Don Hudson.
Yeah, all right. Well, he was a great one. Don Hudson. You know who the other end was? Albert Elmore Sr. was the other end. With John Hudson.
Second player to play in the state of Alabama ever. This is according to AL.com, an article they put out.
Johnny Musso.
No, John Hanna's number two.
John Hanna, he was good.
Number three, this guy's a legendary player. Played at Parker Hospital, played for Grambling State. Big Buck Buchanan.
Big Buck Buchanan, played for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Then this guy was my favorite player of all time at Alabama, which is saying a lot. But Pro Football Hall of Famer, College Football Hall of Famer, the great Derek Thomas.
Oh, great linebacker. Was he no longer with us?
Derek Thomas had 27 sacks his senior year at Alabama, a record that will never be broken.
All right, our weatherman is walking into our studio right here.
It's coming.
And he said, is it bad weather coming to Troy?
Yeah, it's coming.
Where should they go? Where should they go if they don't have a...
It's hail, Mike. They can stay in their house, whatever. I wouldn't go outside and get hit by that hail.
Yeah, I know it exactly. Should they try to park their cars in the garage?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he says that it is a condition where there should be some. It could be some hail.
What do we need to do on the show? Do we need to go ahead and just get off the air?
No, we're at 8:03. Let's stay here a little bit. Give us your sixth ranked player of all time, Kenny Stabler.
Well, the fifth ranked player of all time is a guy you always say, I don't know who he is. I've never heard of him, but a lot of people consider him one of the greatest offensive linemen of all time, Walter Jones, out of Aliceville High School.
Oh boy, where did he
play?
Played
at Florida State.
Walter Jones. Who? Okay.
That's number 5 all time for the state of Alabama. I think that's maybe a little high. Number 6 is Cam Newton.
Cam Newton.
Number 7 is tight end Ozzie Newsome from Colbert County High School.
That's right, Ozzie Newsome, the Wizard of Oz.
Number 8 is the great Terrell Owens, Benjamin Russell High School.
That's right.
I realized that Frank Sadler coached him at Chattanooga.
Yep.
Number 9, a lot of people consider the greatest center of all time, Dwight Stevenson.
Yep.
And then we watched this guy get inducted to the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, and then a few years later he got inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame. a guy named Robert Brazil.
Yep,
Viger
linebacker, yeah.
Hospital, played at Jackson State, number 10. But Robert Brazil is not better than Joe Namath at number 11.
Yeah, Joe Namath with number 11, okay.
Namath at number 11, and number 12, this is the top 100 players all time in Alabama.
Kenny Stabler.
Number 12 is a linebacker from Bessemer City High School named Maxie Bone.
Maxie Bone played at Georgia Tech. All right.
That is correct. Number 13.
Boy, the bad weather's coming in here.
Number 13
go to a place, go to a shelter.
Played at Sidney Lanier High School.
Bart Starr.
That's right, Bart Starr. Starr was an All-American prep quarterback at Sidney Lanier in Montgomery, but he entered the NFL as a 17th round draft choice out of Alabama.
That's right, yeah.
Vince Lombardi got together with the Packers they turned Green Bay into title town. Yeah. Starr was quarterback for 5 NFL.
Heavy rains, Mike. Yeah, right now, Mike. Let's go to the weather. It's heavy rains right here in Troy on South Grundy Street. We're still on the air, and but the bad weather is with us. Roadmark, of course, they're batting up the hatches there. Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need. The Troy Bank and Trust Company, and I'm sure they've gone to more safer grounds there. They can go down to their basement.
Number 14 player on the list. Number 14 player on the list is quarterback Kenny Stabler, Foley High School.
Yep.
Stabler had a 96-49-1 record in the NFL to start quarterback, play quarterback.
Oh boy, it's really coming down hard right here on our.
Do y'all want to take a commercial break?
Yeah, we'll take a. Well, let's keep it right here where we got the weather. The weather.
I can hear the rain.
The rain is coming down hard right now.
Number
Real
15
hard.
on the list of Alabama's best players of all time in football, outside linebacker Cornelius Bennett.
Cornelius Bennett. They call him Biscuit.
Yeah, it's hard to believe Cornelius Bennett played 14 seasons in the NFL.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, he played in the Super Bowl 4 times, and then he was an All-Pro 5 times.
Well, that was
He
great.
had a chance at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Only in state of Alabama, number 16 on the list is Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Oh boy, how did he get just 16?
Yeah, how in the world is he not in the top 10? Bo Jackson's number 16 on the list. Everybody knows what Bo Jackson did. He played baseball too.
Really pouring down right here on South Grundy Street in Troy. Appreciate Wells Fargo advisors, Colin McCrary and his gang, and the Messenger. They're moving downtown as we speak. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 17 on the list is a former walk-on at Auburn. A lot of people will be shocked that he's number 17 on the list, but he's one of the greatest sack guys of all time in NFL history, Kevin Green.
Yeah, I remember
had
that.
160 sacks in NFL football.
It is raining cats and dogs. That's one way it will give us another way it can be raining. High the water, mama, 16 feet and rising.
It could be raining sideways.
Yeah. Rice is going to call in from his entrenched area of Hillcrest.
Is Rice on the back porch still?
I don't know. This is real rough weather, and we're still on the air. Brought to you by Green Hills Funeral Home, and appreciate them very much. I also want to mention our good friends at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep on the bypass. They're going to call it the rainy day sale going on out at Premier Dodge Chrysler and Ram Trucks. As the rain continues, we're continuing our show.
I guess we can finish the list. Derrick Henry's number 18. Derrick Henry set the SEC single records for 2,219 rushing yards, 28 TDs as he won the Heisman Trophy in 2015. Of course, Henry's become a great player for the Tennessee Titans, number 19 on the list. Auburn quarterback out of John Carroll.
Pat Sullivan.
That's right. Pat Sullivan is number 19 on the list. Of course, after that, this guy played at Excel High School in Alabama, number 20.
Leroy Jordan.
That's right. Leroy Jordan, number 21, was a great wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Played at Alabama A&M.
Yes, sir.
Stallworth. And then number 22, everybody knows this guy.
Johnny Musso.
Should have been in the Hall of Fame this year, but did not make it. The great DeMarcus Ware, outside linebacker, Troy, Auburn High School. Ware received 9 Pro Bowl invitations, earned All-Pro recognition 2007, 2008, 2009, 2011 with Dallas Cowboys. He left the game in 2016, ranked 8th in NFL history with 138.5 sacks after earning a Super Bowl title with the Denver Broncos.
It's raining. It's storming rain right here in Troy, Alabama. Right now, we're under a stormy situation.
Number 23 on the list is defense tackle Tracy Rocker out of Auburn. Rocker, of course, coached at Troy under Coach Blakey.
Yeah.
Number 24 is a guy named Frank Gack.
Never heard of him.
Number 25 is running back Tucker Frederickson.
Oh, he was a great one. Tucker Frederickson, yeah.
Yeah, Frederickson, I guess, went on to play for the New York Giants.
Yeah. It is raining cats and dogs here on South Brundage Street in Troy. We were on the air on Today in L.A. waiting for my exit charge. Boy, it is really, really raining hard. You can feel it. And of course, we're down in the basement. You would think you would be in a very good place in case of a storm. If you do have a basement, you should take advantage of it.
Yeah, the problem is didn't Steve say it was going to be hail falling?
What?
Is there hail falling?
Yeah. We don't feel the hail, but it's the rain's very heavy. See what we're going to do. I'm waiting for, of course, we appreciate A1 services today, and they do a great job of getting out and servicing their clientele. Well, Mike, that was what, 25?
I'm looking at the list on down. 37 is Johnny Musso.
Oh yeah, he's a great one. The Italian stallion from Birmingham, Johnny Musso, one of the best college players that ever played in this state.
Yeah, Auburn quarterback Pat Sullivan won the Heisman Trophy in 1971, but Musso won the SEC Player of the Year award for that season.
Yeah.
And Alabama won the conference title. Musso was consistent All-American in 1971. And he left Alabama as the Crimson Tide's career leader in rushing yards, rushing touchdowns.
Steve, can we go to the weather or what? Right now, we're going to stay where we are. The show, of course, is brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks. And we're looking right now outside our door here at Troy Cable, and it is really, really raining. And this is live television. Is that right?
Well, I just recorded it.
We just recorded it from outside of. All right, let's look at it again. We're looking at hail, and you can see it coming down right there. It's about what, quarter size you'd say, or dime, but it is hail.
That's not good for car dealerships, to say the least.
Yeah, I know.
Hail damage on their cars in the parking lot.
Well, right now though, we have not heard of any no tornadoes and no hail damage in Troy, Alabama. No damage to our car dealerships at all. And of course, we're still on the air, and again, it is raining. If you're in a situation where you need to go to a shelter, you need to go to garage or basement, would be the best place if you've got one. And of course, there's some other sources that we don't know them all, but there should be some places where you go and get underground shelter.
Well, I want to recap last night. Kansas came back from 15 down to win the national championship over North Carolina, 72-69. Great basketball season, great NCAA tournament, so many close games, so many games came down to the wire. Looks like Jaden Shackelford, Alabama's top scorer, averaging almost 17 a game, is entering the NBA draft. Walter Kessler, Auburn's big guy, they transferred in from North Carolina. Imagine if he was still in North Carolina. Auburn's great big guy, 7'1", has entered the NBA draft as well. So Alabama's going to have a lot of new players next year. Auburn's going to have a lot of new players as well.
Yeah,
basketball.
And see, and what they're doing, they're sitting at home. Well, probably are under a storm watch right here in Troy. But you know, with the portal, Mike, you can just sit back and work with all these transfers. You know.
Yeah, especially with basketball. It seems like every team you look at has 4 or 5 transfers, different schools. And, you can't blame these coaching staffs for doing it at all.
Again, with storming weather and actually on South Brundage Street in Troy. We're about a mile from downtown Troy. And again, take shelter because there are storm warnings out there.
Hey, we got to take a break. I got to go check on
Well, we've got it. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
The all-new Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center brings all of the latest and advanced 3D mammography and breast ultrasound services to the Troy area in our all-new outpatient facility. Dr. Lauren Thorington, along with our team of certified breast specialists, read your mammograms, which are performed by our registered radiologic technologists, bringing the best in women's health care to the Troy area. Troy Regional Women's Diagnostic Center.
I wish you could taste how much better food tastes when cooked on a Green Mountain grill, but I can let you in on the reason that's true. Our pellets contain water, so they create steam while you cook, keeping your food moist. Does a gas or charcoal grill do that? I think not.
Come and see us at Southern Grill and Patio, just off the square in Troy.
It's Ford Truck Month. America, you know what to do. Now's the time to get after the best deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks, 45 years straight. Also, great offers on Ford Ranger and the new Ford Maverick. Ford Truck Month is here, so let's get after it. Get 0 for 60 plus up to $1,000 bonus cash plus a no-charge 3-year Ford Protect Premium Maintenance Plan on F-150.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Not that we know of. We haven't been out to look at the cars, but we did have about marble-sized hail.
That's right. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, back to our show, and of course, C-Spire, our owners of the cable now, and we appreciate them very much. And also our good friends at Cinco Drugs, looking for the wonderful, wonderful people at Cinco Drugs. I want to mention also we're talking about bad weather, and we were talking briefly about a source that told us that they received dime size hail, so it's not a real large hail, but it was about a dime or marble size hail hit our area just a few minutes ago. But right now, everything looks pretty good as far as hail damage in Troy and Pike County. We have not had any reports of any damage at all to cars or shelters. Of course, an Ozark and of course Wiley Sanders truck lines located in Troy, Alabama. Of course, looking for a career in the trucking industry. Wiley Sanders is the place to go, and we appreciate them very much being a strong supporter of our show. And of course, our friends at Bird Drugs located in the square, and that's one place I would love to go if this rain will give us a chance, is to go have a real hot breakfast at Bird Drugs. A great breakfast every week, every Monday through Saturday. And then, of course, we appreciate them being always convenient to get our. All right, here we go. I was looking, but it does not. Our latest report does not mention anything about any storm damage in our area. At least we don't have anything right now to report. But we did have marble-sized hail in some areas. But whether that is enough that could cause damage, I don't know. But again, we appreciate you hanging with us. We've stayed on the air throughout the storm. It's 8:22, and of course, Mike is in Great Beach, Florida. We're waiting for him to come back in. Like right now, you back with us?
Yeah, I'm seeing the hail damage posted on Montgomery on WSFA. They're showing up.
Was it large?
No, it's about the size of a dime, probably.
Oh yeah. Mike Amos giving us a North Florida report. It's probably
that's not North Florida.
I know, but it's what I'm saying is probably sun shining down there where you are, is it?
It's definitely not raining. I'm watching people ride their bikes. Apparently, there's like a little dip in front of my house, like where the white picket fence is, and little kids bust on the bike all the time and hurt themselves all the time.
Yeah, they need to be careful.
I see a lot of wrecks on bikes while I'm doing the show during the day.
Oh gosh. Well,
of course, Atlanta spring breaks down here, and we found out yesterday that Seaside has such an issue of kids behaving badly. It has to perform too many, incident reports for security and sheriffs and stuff like that. So they canceled all events at Seaside this week.
But I tell you what, when it gets at Seaside, and we're talking about Yuppieville, USA.
Yeah, but I mean,
but what I'm saying,
sad thing is parents decide not to be parents when they come to the beach for some reason. They decide to let their kids roam and run wild and crazy down here, and there's no supervision, and it gets to the point where Seaside officials have to get together and close everything, which is unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
And for it to hit a fabulous place, where the kids don't know how to handle it, during spring break. But that's Seaside would be one of the more luxurious places to stay in Panama City Beach or the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing down here, though. It's I'd say right now there's probably an additional 50,000 people starting from Panama City Beach all the way through 38, through Sandestin to Destin, maybe more than that.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you're talking about all of Atlanta is down here right now.
Boy, all of Atlanta. Let's be. That's a little exaggeration, isn't it?
Well, no, I mean all of Atlanta's on spring break though at the same time. Is what we were told.
Sure is. Of course.
I mean, I tell you what, I'd go to somewhere like Mexico Beach or something like that that's getting rebuilt. I guarantee it's still probably quiet over there. It's probably still quiet over in Apalachicola.
Well, I tell you what, it's storming rain here in Troy. As we speak, it's storming.
Get away.
Mike, it's storming here, so hopefully it'll blow away here. But right now, it's staying with us. 100% chance of rain.
I'm glad we're having the bad weather tomorrow. My wife and I are getting out and about for my 46th birthday tomorrow. The twins, the Amos twins, your daughter Camille and your son Michael are going to be 46 tomorrow.
Oh boy. And was that on April the 7th, 6th?
April the 6th.
I was wondering if you'd catch me on that. But you brought a lot of love and affection to my family.
I get the joy of going to my favorite restaurant, Baraga, tomorrow night. I'm excited.
Oh, really? Is that where you're going? What will you get there, Mike? Pasta or what?
I'll probably get the angel hair pasta, which with grilled shrimp, and it's got a prosciutto on it.
Do they serve it over rice or what?
They sell angel hair pasta is served over.
Oh yeah,
I'll probably get fried calamari and probably get a few other things, I'm sure.
And a nice glass of white wine or red wine?
I don't know. I'll probably bring in a couple bottles of my own. Probably is what I usually do.
Will they let you do it?
Yeah, you just pay a corkage fee, like $20 a bottle.
All right. Well, that's nothing. So it's again we're not on a delay. We've stayed with it this heavy rainfall, very hard rainfall, and right now it's starting to ease off on us a little bit. So I would think you could probably run to your car without getting too wet. But we're staying with it. We've got about 3 minutes left.
Good day to stay in the house with the kids, and hopefully you don't lose power.
No question about it, and we do hope everybody is paid. And Thomas Walker, my good friend, I hope you're doing well over in your neighborhood. And of course, we love Thomas Walker and Eileen Walker, very good friends of mine. Hope y'all are doing well. Of course, we're awaiting sort of a slowdown right now. So. That's good news, and right now we've got people heading out to their cars to make sure if there was any damage, and most of them are heading on out, but most of the people that were under a shelter, right now it's not raining, so it's hopefully will at least it'll go away for a while, at least enough time that people can get to their cars and on into their where they live without any problem. I appreciate you watching our show. We were laid back like we've never been before. We've been laid back a lot, but during this storm, we had certain things going over our telecast right here, and hopefully we were able to give you some input on how it was the storms here in Troy and Pike County. So hopefully. No damage. We don't have any that are reported here. I'm sure it could be after this calms down. But they say this rain's going to be with us pretty much all day long. So please take all the precautions you can on heavy winds and tornado watches, and don't take them for granted. Please don't take any of this weather for granted, because it could happen to you. If you don't be real careful and make sure your kids are safe, and hope to see you tomorrow bright and early for hopefully a dry Pike County, Alabama. We'll be back soon. Have a good day. this it, Stevie?